supporting muscles of the human body. Thankfully, the anatomists who invented muscle names weren't the most creative. Most muscles are usually named by their appearance, location, and attachments. Oh, and if you know Latin, and a little bit of Greek too, major bonus! But don't worry, understanding how these muscles get their names will actually help us remember them. Alrighty then, let's find out how these muscles get their names. In today's tutorial, we'll be taking a closer look at why and how muscles are named, in order to make it easier to identify each muscle and remember them. We'll take a look at some basic methods used to name a muscle, which usually consider one or more of the following characteristics: shape, size, orientation of fibers, action, number of attachments, points of attachment, and location. We'll talk a little about each of these as we go along. So starting at the beginning, let's look at muscles that derive their name from their shape. You may have come across this muscle before. This is our deltoid muscle. As you can see, this muscle is triangular in shape. If you happen to know your Greek alphabet well, you'll know that the Greek letter delta, when written, is shaped like a triangle and therefore gives rise to the name deltoid. Another muscle that is named after its shape is the orbicularis oculi muscle. This is the pepperoni-like muscle that encircles your eye. Orbicularis is the Latin word for circular, perfectly describing the shape of this muscle. The same applies for the orbicularis oris muscle, which circles around the circumference of our lips. The rhomboid muscles of the back are also named for their shape. The Greek word rhombus describes a parallelogram shape characteristic of the two rhomboid muscles, thus giving them their names rhomboid major and minor. The next muscle is slightly different. The morphology of a muscle with its regard to its dimensions can also be used to derive the name of a muscle, and in this case, we're looking at a muscle whose main attribute is its flatness. The Greek word platus means flat and wide, thus giving this delicate, flat muscle the name platysma. See what I mean? Not the most creative, but it makes things a little easier for us when we're trying to remember these names. Moving on to the serratus anterior muscle, we can see that the anterior attachments of the muscle are shaped like the